Someone is editing my memories. I didn't notice the first change because memory is unreliable. Everyone knows that. Details blur, colors shift, faces soften over time. So when I saw the balloon was blue instead of red, I blamed my brain. The photo was from my 8th birthday. I remember that day clearly. The apartment was small, paint peeling near the window. My mom had baked a lopsided cake because we couldn't afford a real one. I was holding a bright red balloon. I remember squeezing it too hard and almost popping it. But in the photo now, the balloon was blue, deep blue, and I was smiling wider than I remember. It felt wrong. Not scary, just wrong. I checked another photo. High school graduation. Me in a cheap black gown, sweating, nervous. Toulouse stood next to me that day, my best friend since primary school. He kept making jokes about how we'd probably end up broke but aesthetic. But in the photo, there was empty space beside me, just a gap, like someone had cut him out carefully. No tear marks, no blur, just absence. I stared at it for 10 minutes straight, trying to remember if he was really there. And that's when something terrifying happened. I couldn't picture his face clearly. I told myself it was stress, sleep deprivation. So I pulled out the old physical albums from storage. Dust everywhere, the smell of old paper and forgotten years. The printed copies had changed too. Not digitally edited, physically different. Ink shifted, backgrounds slightly warped. And in one childhood photo, I noticed something new. Behind the couch, a shape, tall, thin, darker than the rest of the room. I felt my stomach drop. I don't remember that corner being empty. I remember being afraid of it, every night, for no reason. The changes started happening daily. A family vacation photo, my dad's arm missing. A Christmas picture, one less chair at the table. A playground photo, no other children, just me, alone, smiling at something outside the frame. The more I looked at them, the more my memories adjusted to fit. It's hard to explain. It's like my brain didn't fight the edits. It accepted them, like software syncing with a corrupted file. I would argue with myself, no, there were other kids there. But 5 minutes later, I wasn't sure anymore. Then I noticed the timestamps. Every modified image had one thing in common. Last edited, 3:17 a.m. I never stay awake that late, except one night I decided to. I made coffee, kept all the lights on, sat on my bed staring at my phone. 3:16 a.m., nothing. 3:17 a.m., my phone screen turned on. No notification, just on. My gallery opened by itself. One photo expanded. It was taken inside my bedroom, from the foot of my bed. I was asleep in it. Timestamp, 3:17 a.m. Date, tomorrow. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The angle was wrong, too high, like whoever took it wasn't standing on the ground. I slowly looked toward the foot of my bed. Nothing there. Empty. But my closet door was slightly open. I always close it. Always. The next morning I checked the photo again. It was still there, except now something else had changed. In the corner of the image, a shadow. Tall, thin, standing beside my bed, watching me. The face wasn't visible, just darkness shaped like a person. And my sleeping self? I was smiling. I deleted the photo. It reappeared. I turned off CloudSync. Still there. I smashed my old albums into the trash, burned some of them. The ashes smelled like chemicals, and something sweet, like burnt sugar. That night, I dreamed of a room filled with photographs hanging from strings. Every single one of them was me, different ages, different places, and in every photo, that tall figure stood closer than before. In the earliest ones, it was far away, barely visible. In recent ones, it was right behind me, hand resting lightly on my shoulder. like we were friends. I woke up at 3:17 a.m., not because of a sound, because of a thought, a sentence repeating in my head. We're almost done. I couldn't move. Sleep paralysis. My eyes shifted toward the closet. The door was wide open now. Inside, darkness thicker than it should be. Not empty darkness, occupied darkness. Then I heard it, a soft clicking sound, like a camera shutter. The next morning I checked the gallery again. There was a new album, untitled. Inside were hundreds of photos. Photos I've never seen. Moments I don't remember living. First day at a different school. Birthday parties that never happened. Friends with unfamiliar faces. And in every single one, I looked happy. Happier than I've ever been. And the tall figure, standing beside me, not shadow anymore, clearer now, still faceless, but defined, intentional, like it belonged in my life, like it had always been there. I tried calling Tolu. The number didn't exist. I searched social media, nothing, no record, no trace. It was like he'd never existed. And the worst part, I couldn't feel the loss. It's hard to miss someone you can't fully remember. That evening, I found a printed photo on my kitchen table. Fresh, glossy, still warm. It was me, standing in my living room, looking directly at the camera, smiling. Behind me on the wall, all my old photos, except they were different. In every single one, I was alone. No parents, no friends, no one. Just me and that figure, standing right beside me, not shadow, solid, tall, its head tilted slightly toward me, like it was proud. I checked the timestamp on the new photo, 3:17 a.m. Tonight. I hadn't reached that time yet, which means it's not editing my past, it's replacing it. And the more it replaces, the less I remember the original. The final photo in the album changed again just now. It's dated tomorrow. In it, I'm standing in this exact room, but I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at it, at the tall figure, and I'm holding something in my hand, a photograph of someone, but the face is scratched out, and I have this horrible feeling that face used to be mine. It's 3:16 a.m. right now. My phone just lit up. Gallery is opening again. If I stop remembering, if the next version of me looks happier, if tomorrow I don't feel like myself, then this isn't memory loss, it's migration. And I think I'm being edited out. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. 3:17 a.m. came and went. The phone lit up, the gallery opened, and this time it didn't just show me a photo, it showed me a live view, like a camera was already recording, from inside my room, pointed at me. I was sitting on my bed staring at the screen, and in the live feed, I wasn't alone. The tall figure stood directly behind me, so close its head nearly touched the ceiling. Its shape clearer now, still no face, just smooth darkness where features should be. I didn't turn around. I couldn't, because in the live feed, I watched it slowly lower its hand toward my shoulder, and I felt something cold press against my skin. The screen glitched, static flickered, then the live feed froze and converted into a photo. Timestamp 3:17 a.m. Saved to album. I checked the image. In it, I wasn't frozen in fear. I was relaxed, leaning back slightly, like I trusted what was behind me, like I was used to it. And my eyes, they weren't looking at the phone. They were looking up, at it, smiling. I dropped the phone, ran to the mirror. I needed proof I was still me. Reflection looked normal. Same face, same tired eyes, same small scar near my eyebrow from when I was 12. I splashed water on my face. Looked again. The scar was gone, just smooth skin. I touched the spot. Nothing there. But I remember falling. I remember blood. I remember my mom panicking. Except Her face is getting harder to picture. The edits weren't staying inside the photos anymore. They were leaking, bleeding into real life. I ran to the kitchen drawer, pulled out old documents, birth certificate, report cards, medical records. Every single paper had slight inconsistencies. Different schools, different addresses, different signatures. Like someone had rewritten my timeline. Subtle, careful, strategic. Then I found something worse. A photo I've never seen before. Printed, tucked inside a medical file. It was labeled pre-integration. In the photo, I'm sitting in a chair, younger, maybe 6 years old, in a white room, bright lights, and the tall figure stands behind me. But this time, there are others, more of them, watching, observing, like scientists evaluating a test subject, and written on the back of the photo in neat handwriting, subject adapting well, memory replacement nearly complete. My heart started racing. Replacement, not deletion. Replacement, which means something else is being inserted. I rushed back to my bedroom, opened the gallery again, scrolled through the newest album, the happy version of my life, the one with the faceless figure beside me. The more I looked, the more familiar it felt. The schools in those photos? I could almost remember the classrooms. The birthdays? I could almost hear the laughter. It was like standing between two realities, and one was getting stronger. My head started hurting, sharp pressure behind my eyes, images flashing rapidly in my mind. Different childhood, different friends, different house, and in every memory, it was there. Not scary, not threatening, just present, guiding, watching, protecting. That's when I realized something horrifying. In the new memories, I wasn't afraid of the dark, because I was never alone in it. The clock hit 3:16 a.m. again. I hadn't even noticed the time passing. The lights in my room flickered. Phone turned on. But this time, it didn't open the gallery. It opened the camera, front-facing, and I saw myself on screen, except the reflection blinked before I did. It tilted its head slightly, like it was studying me. Then it smiled, wider than I ever would. And behind it, behind me, I saw my room. But different. The walls covered in photographs, thousands of them, all versions of me, all slightly different. Some older, some younger, some with scars I don't recognize, some with eyes too dark. And standing among them, multiple tall figures, watching, waiting. The screen glitched again. New notification. Update in progress. 92% complete. My head felt like it was splitting open, memories colliding. Old birthday, blue balloon, red balloon. Which one was real? Tolu laughing, or empty space? My mom's voice, or silence? Then I understood. The photos aren't being edited. They're backups, archives. Every version of me that ever existed, stored, adjusted, refined. And when one version resists too much, it gets replaced, migrated into a better fit. The percentage changed. 95%. I stumbled toward the closet. It was open again. Inside, not darkness this time, but light, soft, white, like the room in the pre-integration photo, and silhouettes standing inside it, waiting, patient. One of them stepped forward, taller than the rest. It extended a hand, not threatening, inviting. And suddenly, I remembered something. A hospital room, machines, flatline. A long time ago. I was never supposed to survive. 98%. The truth hit me all at once. I didn't imagine the edits. I am the edit. The original version of me died years ago. What I've been living is a reconstruction, an ongoing correction. Every time the system finds instability, it rewrites, rebalances, replaces. 99%. My phone vibrated violently. Final notification. Migration ready. The tall figure stepped fully into my room, closer than ever before, its faceless head tilted, and for the first time, I heard it speak. Not out loud, inside my mind. Soft. Calm. You'll be happier this way. 100%. Everything went silent. It's 3:17 a.m. I'm standing in a white room, bright lights overhead. There are photographs hanging from the ceiling. In every single one, I'm smiling. Beside me, no shadow, no darkness, just empty space. Perfectly edited, perfectly stable, perfectly alone. And somewhere far away, I think I can see another version of me, holding a phone, staring at a photo, confused, noticing the balloon change color. Again. I don't know how long I've been in this white room. There are no clocks here, no doors, just light. And the photographs. They hang from invisible threads, stretching endlessly in every direction. Different ages, different versions, different lives. Some of them look like me, some of them don't. In some photos, I'm taller, in others thinner. Scar on my eyebrow, no scar. Different haircut, different house, different mother. That's when it hits me. There isn't one original. There are iterations. The tall figures move between the hanging photos like archivists in a library. Careful, precise. When they touch an image, it ripples slightly, adjusts, refines, deletes, adds. They're not monsters, they're editors, curators of continuity, and I'm just a draft. One of them stops in front of me, the tallest one, the one that always stood closest. Its presence isn't heavy anymore. It feels familiar, comfortable, like something that's always been there. Inside my mind, I hear it again. You resisted longer than most. Most? The room shifts, and suddenly I see them. Other versions of me standing in different sections of the white space. Some look confused, some terrified, some calm. One of them is crying, one of them is laughing. All of them are mid-transition, mid-replacement, mid-erasure. I step closer to a photograph near me. It's the birthday one, red balloon. I reach out to touch it. The image flickers. The balloon turns blue, then red, then blue again. It stabilizes. Blue. And instantly, the memory adjusts in my mind. It was always blue. My mom is harder to picture now. Her voice fades at the edges. The tall figure speaks again. We optimize instability. You were fractured. Fractured. That word unlocks something. Flashes. Hospital bed. Flatline monitor. A car accident. Cold rain on shattered glass. My mother's scream. Then, nothing. White light. Voices discussing integration. Not saving me, rebuilding me. Layer by layer, memory by memory, until something stable emerged. But stability requires consistency, and I kept remembering things I wasn't supposed to. I kept holding on to the red balloon. The figure extends its hand again. Completion requires release. Behind it, I see a final photograph suspended alone, larger than the rest. It's me, standing in my bedroom, phone in hand, staring at the screen. Exactly where this story began. Only this time, there is no shadow behind me, no distortion, no anomaly. Just me, alone, calm, stable, a clean timeline. If you step into this, it says inside my head, there will be no more edits, no more gaps, no more disappearing friends, no more 3:17 a.m., just a smooth life, predictable, polished, artificial, but painless. I look around at the other versions of myself. The crying one is fading, becoming translucent. The laughing one glitches, pixelates. Another one turns into pure white static. They aren't being moved, they're being compressed, archived, reduced to data. I realize something terrifying. The system doesn't hate me, It isn't hunting me. It's protecting the world from inconsistency, from unstable narratives, from broken survivors who weren't meant to continue. I am a continuity error, and errors get corrected. The large photo in front of me begins to flicker. If I don't choose, it will choose for me. And if it chooses, the resistant version of me disappears. The one telling this story, the one who noticed, the one who questioned. I step closer. The white light intensifies. The figure's hand remains extended, patient, certain. Then I do something it doesn't expect. I look at the birthday photo again. The balloon. Blue. I close my eyes, and I force the memory back. Red. I remember the cheap rubber smell, the way the knots scraped my finger, the exact shade of red. Bright, almost orange in the sunlight. The image in front of me glitches violently. The blue destabilizes. The tall figures freeze. Static tears through the white room. For the first time, they look unsure. I grab another memory. Tolu laughing at graduation. The joke about being broke but aesthetic. The way he shoved my shoulder. The heat of that day. The sweat in my eyes. The photo trembles. Empty space fills in. His outline reappears. Faint, but there. The white room begins to crack. Hairline fractures spreading across the endless brightness. The archivist stepped back. Not angry, concerned. You will destabilize everything. The voice is sharper now, less calm. I don't stop. I grab every flawed memory, every inconsistency, every scar. The one on my eyebrow reappears. I feel the sting again. The hospital flash returns. My mother's scream echoes fully this time. Not fading, not softened, real, painful, mine. The white room shatters like glass. Photographs fall around me, burning midair, corrupting. The tall figures distort, stretching, fragmenting, and in the chaos, I wake up. I'm on my bedroom floor, breathing hard. It's dark. My phone lies beside me. The screen is off. I slowly turn it on, open the gallery, birthday photo, red balloon, graduation photo, Tolu standing beside me, closet door closed, no strange albums, no 3:17 a.m. edits. Everything looks normal. I laugh, half hysterical, half relieved. Maybe it was stress, sleep deprivation, a psychological break. Maybe none of it was real. Maybe I just needed to confront trauma, rewrite my own narrative. Then my phone vibrates. Unknown notification, no app icon, just text. Manual override detected. The timestamp reads 3:17 a.m. tomorrow. And below it, a single new image loading, very slowly. I don't open it. I don't need to, because I already know what it shows. A white room, hanging photographs, and one tall figure standing behind someone, holding a bright red balloon. I don't look up, but I feel something behind me, breathing, patient, waiting for the next correction. And this time, I'm not sure which version of me is real anymore.